What's happening, y'all? This is Andrew from Mirror Music, back with another NAS reaction video. Today we're going to do Earvin Magic Johnson, which is the seventh track on Magic 2. I'm not going to sit here now and pretend that I have not listened to this old album multiple times now. It's been out for 3 days or 2.5 days. So yes, I've listened to the whole thing, so it's not a pure reaction in the sense that I've never heard it before, but I'm going to tell you what I hear and break it down a little bit if I can do that. I love the idea that so many of the titles of these songs are taken from magical things. There's Abracadabra, there's Black Magic, there's Earvin Magic Johnson. So there's several of them. And I mean, I've talked about this in previous videos too. He is pulling magic imagery into the songs too. But it seems also that he's pulling the titles from there. It's almost, I don't have any inside knowledge about this, but it seems, as a writer, it seems like he thought of a bunch of different things that went with the theme of magic and just made songs about them just because he's that good. Anyway, this is Earvin Magic Johnson. Let's see what we got. That sounds like a Showtime kind of song, right? Like a
Magic Johnson, I'm in the prize and I keep it ghetto like the hood before they.
That's not the kind of flow that you expect from him. That sounds like, I'm not a huge like hip hop head, but I teach high school, so I'm around like hip hop culture with like the younger folks that are listening, and that flow sounds a lot more like the modern like stuff that's coming out. Not that this isn't coming out now, but like younger artists. But he's mastered that too. I love the Left Eye Andre Rising part. That's makes me happy. Let's just shout out Ray Kwan. There it is right there. Can it be all so simple? One of my favorite quotes from 42nd Street. Days of pimps wearing suede loafs. That McDonald's is. Those of you who are New York people, 42nd Street's Times Square, right? Like, I'm not a New York person. I've been there once, so like it's not my knowledge, but isn't, I think 42nd Street is one of the cross streets for Times Square. Y'all get the comments and tell me if I'm remembering that right. Still there where we had the trade blows, then I stood on stages. Australia on occasion, country club, House of Blues, stadium status, hands waving, hip hop 50 celebration. Funny we the same age and we just keep on getting iller. Word to heavy, word to dilla. Word to head, word to dilla, milk D. I'm top billing, cooking soul, grandma skillet, and they rearrange my quotes, trying to make me out the villain. Have you jammed up like what you spread on toast? So there's two of those food images in there. There's jammed up like what you spread on toast, and about the grandma's skillet. So much of Nas's imagery, generally, as it should be, really, is New York related. It's and when you think of New York and music, generally speaking, you think of things that are harder, like rough around the edges, metallic, concrete, those kind of hard images and tactile sensations. But they feel more rural images. Jam on toast, grandma's skillet, those are different kinds of images than you'd normally see in a hip-hop song. I might cut that part out. I don't know if that makes sense, but
is a dose of that interesting poetry. Others wishing they wrote. We don't smell y'all smoke, y'all should try a different approach. Word to head, word to dilla, overweight. Pockets for my niggas till the scales tipping. Get it? On my Earvin Magic Johnson, I'm in the.
He said get and the scales tipping, like I don't know that I get it. Like he said, you get it. I don't know that I do. So maybe somebody can explain that to me. Maybe he's talking about like scales like human weight and then like weighing products. I don't know. If it means something else, please tell me. Please. I want to make sure that I'm properly educated here.
The prize and I keep it ghetto like the hood before they gentrified it. I might burn this bitch down, Left Eye Andre Rising. I can't trust you built for Cuban links unless we tied in. I can't trust you built for Cuban links unless we tied in. I can't trust you.
So he's clearly like, I know Only Built for Cuban Links is a Raekwon thing, and I know, like, what the necklace looks like. He's clearly referencing something else, like, maybe, like, how the links are, because if you don't know, for the people who look more like me and don't know what Cuban links are, they're like necklaces and stuff like that, and bracelets, I guess, too, that look almost braided. They kind of look like that. Kind of like that. Look, Google it so you'll know. But, like, maybe it's referring to, like, how close people are together and how interwoven they are. I don't know. That's what I get from it as an outsider who doesn't really understand. If it means something else, please tell me.
You built for none of this unless we tied in. Family ties, squad ties, money ties, suit and ties, shoes tied, ready to ride, choose a side. Thought I told you on the time that we was surfing. And you know I'm down.
Oh, wait. His wordplay, man. His wordplay is so good. I mean, he's using tied in a lot of different ways, like family ties, like ways things are tied together. Then he goes suit and tie, and then something. He references The Tide, the song that he did with Hit, like, what, a year ago, 6 months ago, something like that. I know this because I'll put the link down in the comments, or down in the little description, but Coop and I did a video where we broke down the lyric of The Tide. So he's referencing that too. So his skill in playing with words is, again, unmatched.
For my niggas, free C murder. Fuck the chat, you know that I'm about my mathematics. When you run up mad numbers, yeah, that's when they get the maddest.
So, like, I don't want to keep interrupting the song so much, but I've never heard somebody say, like, I care a lot about the money that I'm making by saying, like, I care about my mathematics or something like that. I won't pull it back so I can tell you directly.
Mathematics, when you run up mad numbers, you murder. Fuck the chat, you know that I'm about my mathematics.
You know that I'm about my mathematics. That's such a fun way to say that.
When you run up mad numbers, yeah, that's when they get the maddest.
Oh, running up mad numbers too. That also, I mean, it refers both to making money, obviously, but also it's a song called What Earvin Magic Johnson, who was also running up numbers playing basketball too.
With the alphabets, I gave out paddocks, and I gave out rollies and new ranges to the baddest. Plus, I wear the scars from the streets, ducking the mark of the beast. I know some brothers doing like they say, not talking for me.
Oh wow, look, listen to that. Like, I mean, it's the same beat, but he changes up the flow in just those couple lines. Ducking the mark of the beast. Again, I'm not a rapper, so I can't, like, perform it properly. But, and he said something like, people in prison say that Nas is talking for them, talking for me. The way he's able to blend, like, hard, real world scenarios with beautiful poetry, with stuff that's with like thoughts that are like a different level from most music that you hear, is kind of a one-of-one thing.
Brother Will for real, he used to thug the thugs. I'm throwing George Washington's cause we the ones.
I love that line. I throw in George Washington because we the ones.
$500,000 on an island all alone. I still ball. Me and Wilson put a 40 on the board at the forum like a Magic and Kareem on the floor. Pat Riley on the bench calling plays. I just score.
I love the inclusion of Pat Riley in there too, for lots of reasons. It's one of those references that tie this album together because Pat Riley was obviously Magic Johnson's coach in Los Angeles in the Showtime Lakers. He was that coach through the 80s. And then he became the coach of the New York Knicks, which is where he was in the early mid-90s when Nas was on his come up with Illmatic, and it was, I mean, like, those albums came out while the Knicks were coached by Pat Riley. And if you listen through this whole album too, there's lots of Miami references to Tony Scarface, what's his name? Montana. And sorry, Sopranos, a different mobster. Anyway, so there's lots of Miami references in there too, which is where Pat Riley is now. So it's one of those fun details that kind of unifies things.
Calling plays, we just score. Word to have, word to dealer, milk D. I'm top billing, cooked and sold, grandma skillet, get it? On my Earvin Magic Johnson, I'm enterprise, and I keep it ghetto like the hood before they gentrified it. I might burn this bitch down, left by Andre rising. I can't trust you built for Cuban links unless we tied it. I can't trust you built for Cuban links unless we tied it. I can't trust you built for none of this unless we tied it.
All right, so I don't want to belabor this too much, but I love the idea that the song's framed around Magic Johnson, because he says something like Earvin Magic Johnson, I'm enterprising. I think I quoted that wrong, but it's something to that effect. And he references his basketball career, his Magic Johnson's basketball career too, but he's also talking about, modern Magic Johnson is a businessman, right? He owns movie theaters. Does he still own part of the Los Angeles Dodgers? I think he does. He used to. He is part of the ownership team now of the Washington football team in DC. So he has expanded his business ventures too. And I think that's a good metaphor for Nas, honestly, who came up in the world, in popular culture, as a hip-hop artist, as a rapper, and he still is that, and he still is, obviously, as you can hear, very good at that. But he's also a businessman. He owns restaurants, he owns a record label, he's not self-producing, but putting out these albums on Mass Appeal by himself. He's footing the bill for all that. Like, every song that I've listened to on this record has been excellent. So hope he keeps it up on the good work there. We'll talk about when I think it's on Abracadabra. It's one of those songs he talks about. By the time you hear this, we're already working on the next one. May this roll keep going, guys. May it keep going. See you next time.